My name is Russell Sarder. I'm the chairman and CEO of NetCom Learning. The purpose of NetCom Learning is to promote the values of lifelong learning. We provide business and technology training solution to individual, corporate, and government clients. 80% of our clients are corporate, 20% are individual and government clients. We're in business for 13 years. We have been growing every single year, and fortunately, I'm proud to say that we are profitable every single year. Over the last 13 years, we have serviced 90% of the Fortune 1000 companies. 65,000 people from 22,000 companies took some type of training solutions or classes with us over the last 13 years. One of the things I did when I started the company, I keep thinking about how can I build a company where non-technical people can run a technical training center. How can I set up a company where even the company is small now, but we can build the right software, right processes in place that even if one point we can become a billion-dollar organization, we still have the system process and in place to get that done. So I have built a system, we call it CMS, Central Management System. Through this process, our sales, our marketing, training, delivery, day-to-day operation, intranet, extranet, content management system, reporting application, everything is integrated in one single system. But the most important thing about the organization is our purpose. The purpose of the organization, again, is to promote the values of lifelong learning. The business we are in is not really selling courses. It's more about how can we help individual and corporate clients to realize their learning dreams or learning goals they have to fulfill those goals.
Was there a moment that things came together for you and thought, I'm going to do this. I'm the one to do this.
Right after my college, I went in and joined a company that hired me as a consultant to work for digital equipment and Compaq. And when I met with the CEO of the company, I found out that the CEO is from India and he had 500 employees. And I looked at that, if he can get it done, why can't I get it done? Right after 3 months of job, right out of college, I just quit. I said, let me go and I have to start something. So initially I thought I wanted to open up a consulting company where I know there was a shortage within the industry for high-end IT professionals. So I went in, called my friends, said, hey, do you want to work for me, even though I didn't have a job for them? If you're making right now $60,000, $70,000, if I can find you a job for $100,000, would you work for me? And two of my friends said yes. So I went on the phone and I started to call companies, and eventually I was able to place two of my friends into the job market. Now, while I was going through that process, what I found out, it was very difficult to find highly qualified people over here. And if I want to go and bring them in from outside, from India and other places, I have to go through the immigration process. Why not train people, develop the skills for them, and then put them in the job market? So this is how I moved into the training business. Deep inside, I'm passionate about learning. I want to continuously learn new things. I want to continuously challenge myself. If I don't know something, I want to do research and go after that. So one of the reasons I'm in the learning business because I'm passionate about learning. Second reason, I believe I went into the business because I was always passionate about success. And I remember that some of my friends were telling me that don't go into the business, it's the recipe for disaster. 90% or 80 or 90% of the businesses fails on first 5 years. Different statistics say different things. So when people discouraged me, it encouraged me more that I want to prove that this success is achievable.
It's not passion alone that brings you there. I mean, how do you, in the face of those numbers, say, yeah, I know, but I'm going to go do this?
I am so glad that you asked that question. I actually wrote a book to answer that question. Name of the book called Learning, Steps to Become a Passionate Lifelong Learner. I went back and I analyzed myself that sometimes people ask me, Russell, why did you become successful just like you? I say that is the passion and drive to become successful. Everybody has that. I also know that is because that I'm in an industry that has a huge market opportunity. It's $24 billion industry. But I think the most important why I became successful, I think, is because I'm a passionate lifelong learner. I'm consistently going in and learning new things into different areas. So I'll give you an example. When I started the business, I didn't know anything about sales. I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about accounting, finance, leadership. So I went into a reading mode and initially developed a competency model and start learning about all these new things, because I believe that I cannot lead people if I mislead. I cannot hire right people unless I develop the human resource skills. So to answer your question, I believe the reason an entrepreneur becomes successful and people can maintain a sustained business, besides the passion and the drive, the organizational founder needs to be passionate about lifelong learning.
As you grow, as you become bigger, how do you stay true to the things that you're so passionate about?
If you ask me, Russell, what are the 3 challenges you're facing right now, I would say one is that how do you consistently hire the right people within the organization? Second thing, I would say that how do you define what your core competency is? What's your core business model? How do you focus on that core areas? And how you have the discipline to say no to opportunity. We don't have any lack of opportunities. There's so much opportunities out there. How do we stick to what we are best at and actually do that? And third thing is, how do you maintain the organization culture as you're growing? So I believe that the challenge that we have, that we need to continuously go back and look into that, ask the 3 questions: what we are best at, what we are passionate about, what drives our economic engine. So once we know what we are best at, we need to continuously remind the leadership team and continuously remind our management team that this is where we need to focus on. Because once we get diverged, the business is going to collapse.
Think about your company today. Do you see what's there? Do you focus on what's there? Or do you focus on what's missing?
We focus on both. I have to consistently look at what we are good at now, what we are doing right now, how do we maintain and make it better. On the same time, I have to constantly look for new opportunities. What other way we can grow the organization? What other related business we can go in? We have to continuously look for future growth while we are maintaining existing business.
Kauffman Foundation talks about the need to have more entrepreneurs. We want more entrepreneurs, we want to make them more successful, and we want the successful entrepreneurs to grow bigger and grow faster. What's your advice on how do we get that done? How do we make it easier? How do we make it a better place for people to come, and then have the freedom to live out their entrepreneurial dream?
I'm an immigrant from Bangladesh. I came here 21 years ago. I went to school over here. I started the business 13 years ago. I've created hundreds of jobs over here. And I want to add some statistics. I'm sure you know that 40% of the Fortune 500 companies is been built by either an immigrant or an immigrant son or daughters. So we all understand the importance of immigration within the United States. So I believe that there's many ways to solve it. One is that government needs to come up with the policies, right policies to encourage immigrants to come in over here. And you know there is a quota system for H1, and I knew that back then there was a time I was bringing people from India that I couldn't find in over here, and I see that how that process became comparatively difficult right now. Second thing is that there is a stigma is going on out there. Immigration in some part of the country has been looked at as a bad thing, that how immigrants are taking the jobs away. So I think that there is a communication problem here, that how does the leaders, how does not just the political leaders, how the thought leaders, how the media communicate this information effectively to the public, so that immigration becomes a good thing. Because I believe that a lot of people still don't understand the history of US, what made US successful. There's a lot of reasons, and one of the key reasons US is so successful is the immigration.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome.